What's going on, guys? It's your average consumer, and today we're going to be talking about the new iPhone 8, 8 Plus, and the 10th anniversary iPhone 10. Now, with three completely different models, we're going to be talking about all you need to know about them and their key differences. And sticking with the tradition, you guys know I'm going to be giving some away, so make sure you're subscribed, you hit that like button if you're pumped, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when that giveaway video drops. Now, let's talk about these iPhones. So first, we're going to talk about the design of the 8 and 8 Plus. And honestly, both phones look the same as the 7 and are even the same size at 4.7 inches for the 8 and 5.5 for the Plus, but they're now both completely glass in the front and the back with an aluminum antenna to match whatever color you choose. And speaking of colors, there's a silver, space gray, and a beautiful new gold color. So no jet black here, but these pretty much fall in line with what we'd expect. The Retina HD display now has true tone and a wide color gamut, which makes a more brilliant and vibrant display. Now, the front-facing camera specs are the same as the iPhone 7 with 7 megapixels up front and about 12 megapixels in the rear camera, and they're pretty much the same, although they have a slightly faster sensor and new color filters. But the more noticeable difference is with the 8 Plus. Now we have a new software feature in the camera called portrait lighting. Those dual cameras on the Plus will allow you to once again separate the subject from the background, as you saw last year with portrait mode and that blurred effect. But now you can toy with the lighting to give a more professional studio-like effect to the picture. So in terms of physical hardware differences between the two, that's pretty much it. The real difference comes from that iPhone 10. The iPhone 10 is such a beautiful phone with its near bezel-less display. The 10 has a bigger display than the 8 Plus at 5.8 inches, but somehow is right in the middle of the 8 and 8 Plus in terms of overall height, width, and weight. It has a stunning Super Retina OLED display, and in person you could really see how bright and accurate the colors were on the phone. With the 10, there's no longer a home button, so there's a variety of gestures that you'll use to navigate the phone. So first up, to access the home screen, all you have to do is swipe up from the very bottom, and if you want to get access to the control center, you want to swipe down from the top right corner, and that's when you have access to all of your controls. And if you want to switch between apps, you can swipe left or right on that bottom home bar, for lack of a better name. Aside from the impressive display, we also have cool features with the new cameras. The front-facing camera, called the True Depth camera, is packed with technology that allows for a new feature called Face ID. With Face ID, you can now unlock your phone simply by looking at it, use Apple Pay, and pretty much any app you would use Touch ID with, which is great because I use Touch ID a lot and I was a little worried about losing that functionality. And according to Apple, Face ID has been through a ton of testing and it should be more secure than Touch ID. So you don't have to worry about someone breaking into your phone by them having a picture of you or maybe scanning you while you're sleeping or even using a really well-created mask. None of that stuff is gonna work. And what's also pretty cool is that it'll recognize your face even if you have different facial hair or if you're wearing a cool hat, anything like that, it can still see right through it and recognize that it's you. Now, that front-facing camera is also changing the game for selfies. With the 10, you can now take selfies in portrait mode. This is huge because I think a lot of us are unimpressed by front-facing cameras in general, but now you've got the same technology in the front camera as you do with the rear 8 Plus and iPhone X cameras. This is something I know Ari is super hyped about, and I'm pretty sure anyone who loves taking selfies will be too. So portrait mode and portrait lighting work on both the front-facing and rear camera of the X and the rear camera of the 8 Plus, and not at all on the regular 8. The new True Depth camera also analyzes your muscle movement to allow for super advanced emojis called animojis that will mirror your expressions. And they're only going to be 12 when it first comes out, but hopefully there'll be more in future updates. And the last difference is battery life. The 10 is going to feature 2 more hours of battery life than the regular iPhone 7, and we haven't gotten direct comparisons to the 8 and 8 Plus, so we'll have to see how that works in future videos. But what's really exciting are the features that are coming to all 3 of the new models. The first, and probably most exciting, is wireless charging. Finally. So thanks to those new glass backs, we don't have to worry so much about charging it up with cables. We'll now be able to charge them on wireless charging docks, which we'll see a ton of support for from a ton of different companies. I know Apple didn't come out with it first, but I'm just glad to see that it's finally on the iPhone. Inside all 3, we have the new A11 Bionic chip, which Apple claims is 25% faster than the A10, and with that you should see enhanced performance in a ton of different areas. Now, another addition is augmented reality. Now, there are going to be a ton of apps that take advantage of augmented reality. This will probably have the biggest impact on gaming, but we'll see this come into play in other apps that take advantage of it by setting up different furniture in your house, being able to have a sneak peek at that, tons of other cool things, but I honestly can't wait to see what app developers come up with. This is like the next step. And of course, we still have water and dust resistance in all models and stereo speakers. And as a bass lover, I'm pretty excited because the bass is now deeper and the sound is supposedly 25% louder. Now it's time to take a look at pricing, and this is the pricing you can expect for each model. So really, you're gonna wanna upgrade to the 10 if you're really in love with that new bezel-less design, new Face ID, better selfies, and animojis. And if you don't care for the design and you don't think the new features are worth it, you can always go with the 8 and 8 Plus, which are both impressive phones, but me personally, I know I'm going to be all over that 10. But that about wraps it up, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, be the cool guy or girl that gives this video a thumbs up, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Till then, it's your average consumer. Peace.